everybody else. So when I was driving for dollars, I used to just drive around just in general just to look at nice houses that I essentially wanted to live in one day. And then when I started listening to Max Maxwell, I was like, oh, you can actually make some money just driving around, finding abandoned houses that nobody lives in. So I actually took that as part of a business model. Fast forward to 2020, when I came out here to Dayton, I really started hitting it hard, wholesaling, and creating my process. So my process is real simple. It takes a while to get people to call you, but for the most part, it's if you're just driving around and you see an abandoned house, write the address down. Once you do that, it's public information for you to go to the county website and figure out who the owner is, where they live at, back taxes, whether they have a mortgage. Any of this information is online for free, right? So then what I started doing, I was like, oh, well, let me just write a letter and see if they're willing to sell the house, right? But the thing that I didn't have was the confidence. I was like, man, what happens if they want to sell me their house and I don't close on the deal? Are they going to sue me? How do I come up with the money? How do I close? All of these things, right? So I had to go and seek this information. And I think the biggest thing that was holding me back was I didn't have cash buyers, right? I was always thinking about the process like, oh, if I do this, what's the next step? But I think the biggest thing is just doing it and figuring out everything after, I'm big on law of attraction and manifestation. If you want something and you believe in it, it's just gonna happen for you. So then I just started sending letters. Once people started calling me back, I used to be like, I'm just sending you a letter just to see, whether you have a tenant, why is the house vacant, are you open to selling your house, or what's your plan for the property? Once I started getting inbound calls, that's when I really started taking off, right? But also, it's a numbers game. You can't expect to send out one letter and thinking that one person's going to call you back and want to sell you their house. So a couple of deals that I've done, and the biggest thing, it's not about doing the deal, it's really about helping people. I think once I changed my mind to that, is, we're the deal. As somebody who wholesales, you got to tell yourself that you're the deal. You're coming to help solve a problem, not, oh, how much money can I get? Or, you got to kind of take your mindset off of that. So a deal that I did probably, I'll say a little less than 5 months ago, up on the Burkhardt district. Her name was, what was her name? Either way, she was out of California. It was 62 Parnell. Yeah, actually it was Joanne Pham. There we go, Joanne Pham. And she lived in California. Her story was that she had the house listed with a realtor in 2008. The listing fell through. She didn't have a tenant. Nobody ended up doing anything with the house. She owed $16,000 in back taxes. I simply asked her, I was like, what would you like to do with this property? She told me, she said, as long as you take care of these back taxes, I would literally gift you this property, right? And at first I was like, oh, this can't be true. But I kid you not, I bought that house for $1, right? There was a house on that street, comps, no rehab, no nothing, sold for $99.5. I sold that property, got it on a contract for $1, found a cash buyer, and I made $5,000 off of it, right? Somebody like me, for literally, it took years to figure out the process and develop these relationships and find people who want to buy these houses, but it's something that's possible to do, and it's, really finding their need and their problem, And then another deal that I have now, and potentially is going to close today, is the same situation. I found a lady, they owe $28,000 in back taxes. I asked her the same question. She said, if you take care of all the back taxes, I want nothing with the property. Literally, again, I can't make this up. I bought the house for $1. It needs a full rehab on this property. That's not something that I specialize in, so I reach out to people and I'm like, is this something that you're interested in? I have a lady that comes to buy a majority of my wholesale deals. The reason why I love her so much is because I run my numbers, I do the ARV, rehab value, cash flow. These are all things that, whether or not you guys know that, I'm happy to share that information, but you have to do your due diligence to know these things. And let's just say, I came to her and I was like, oh, I want $10,000 for this assignment fee. She always comes back, she doesn't be like, oh, that's too much, or, that's not in my ballpark. She's like, no, I kind of need it around 5,000 or I need it around 10. She just kind of tells me where she kind of needs her numbers at, and that's why we have a good working relationship. And the reason why, I'm a landlord now, I buy and hold, but I don't think I'm ever going to get away from wholesaling just because, one, that's what got me started. The house that I literally live in right now was from wholesaling. It's just something I think I'm going to do forever because I just love the process. And I think you have to love what you do and enjoy the process. It's the journey, not the destination, right? So, if you enjoy the destination, I feel like you're going to get a lot farther in life than just wanting the outcome, the lake house on the beach or the yacht with the helicopter pad, or whatever you aspire to be, So, if you guys have any questions, I don't know if anybody has any questions about wholesaling or real estate in general, but I'm always open to answer. Yes.
Josh, do you have buyers in your wholesaling? Do you have buyers in the inventory or in the background always ready to help?
Yeah, so how I built my buyers list is, one, I used to just get on Craigslist and just call people selling houses, calling people who say they fix houses, really just calling anybody just to build the rapport, just to see what they're into. And they're like, oh yeah, I buy in Montgomery. They're like, oh, I buy from, Mason to the south, or whatever their demographics of where they buy it at. I have a CRM that I put them in. And if I get a house that fits their criteria, that's who I call.
Okay.
How do you find JD Ria?
Yeah, so I was, I was walking around doing the Dayton tour, and I was walking around. I met my man Sham. I think everybody knows Sham. I think he probably brought 90% of the people in here to GD Ria. But yeah, we were just walking around, and he just stopped and talked to me. Told me that he always gives some free consultations, and I was looking for a mentor at the time because I was didn't know exactly what I wanted to do or what avenue that I wanted to pursue further after wholesaling, and he kind of gave me direction. And then being around a bunch of individuals that have the same goals and ambitions that I have, and all the wisdom in the room, I think that's the biggest reason why I come every day, is because there's too much knowledge in here. I don't think, probably there's more people in here who have lost or forgot information that I've been able to learn. So that's why I love coming every week. Well, I thank you. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoy the meeting tonight.
Greater Dayton REIA is a great source of information for real estate investors. You can learn what you need to do to succeed. You can learn the different opportunities that there are in the marketplace, and you can meet a lot of people that know about this from their own experience.
It's a fantastic organization because you can network with more seasoned investors. You meet all kinds of different vendors each time, insurance companies, title companies. There's always a different group of people here. And even though I've been involved in real estate since '99, every time I come to a meeting I learn something different. You could also find contractors here. It's just a really great way to network.
The benefits that I've gotten from GD Ria over the years is being able to tap into a pool of knowledge from experienced investors, experienced speakers that allow me to overcome any obstacles I might have from what I'm not familiar with.
GD Ria, we learned that this is a team sport, and being a landlord requires quite a few people to help. In GD Ria, we found our accountant, attorney, property manager, realtor who furnishes the leads for the properties, and I believe the appraisers.
GD Ria in 2010 to invest. The whole team was there. I had a property manager, realtors who had deals, and now I have 4 houses that are all turnkey solutions. I've invested in private LLCs. I've even bought a note. So by joining an organization like GD Ria, you too can learn how to be a good investor.
And we are an approved vendor with GD Ria. We've been with you guys about 4 or 5 years now, and we love networking with the members, and we're here to help. So anything that they need help with, you can find us here every meeting and ask us whatever questions you need to.